tail of the tape for our main event.
You see that they're the same age. Yuri Foreman's got a 4-inch height advantage, which could be significant. However, this is an oddity. He is 8 inches behind in reach. That's very, very unusual.
Well, interesting thing, he hit on the ages, and Roman's career almost looked in decline until that UMA win.
Let's take a look at the unified rules here in the state of New York. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Only the referee can stop the fight, and neither fighter can be saved by the bell in any round.
So Yuri Foreman, wants to fight for a super welterweight title. We'll see. He's got to get past this guy and not get ahead of himself. Saul Roman from Culiacan, Mexico, home, of course, of the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez. Debuted at 19. He's a 7-year pro. He was KO'd by a 7-12 fighter last June. He said his dad was on the verge of dying and eventually did pass away. His head wasn't just into the fights at all. He came back with a revitalizing split decision win over Kasim Uma in November. He is motivated. He's ready to go. He's ranked number 9 by the IBF for what the rankings are worth in the alphabet soup. All 4 losses, though, inside the distance. Yuri Foreman, most of his wins, he'll stretch you out and typically outbox you. Foreman, originally from Belarus, Eastern Europe, living now in Brooklyn. That's where we're at now. 3-time Israeli national champion, won the New York Golden Gloves in 2001, a 6-year pro, and a consensus top 10 junior middleweight in the world, coming off those 2 career best wins, and now in a potential, well, if Saul Roman had his way, slugfest. We'll see if Foreman can get it done and not be under siege. That's been his key. If he can control distance and range and pace, he controls the fight. And a reminder to score it with us at home. Just go online to versus.com/scorecard. We welcome your input as usual. Crowd really getting into it. Place is packed. We're in Brooklyn, and our main event about to happen. Let's meet both fighters now with Joe Antonacci.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Arum's Top Rank and Final Forum Promotions present our Fight Night on Versus main event of the evening. Our main event is scheduled for 10 rounds of action for the NABF Super Welterweight Championship. Our judges for this championship bout, John McKay, Tony Paolillo, and Steve Weisfeld. And our referee at the sound of the bell will be Eddie Claudio. Introducing first in the blue corner, he comes to us tonight from Culiacan, Mexico. He weighed in at 153 pounds, wears the red, white, and green trunks of his native land. With a professional record of 24 victories, 4 defeats, and 20 knockouts, please welcome Saul Roman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. His journey took him from Belarus to Israel and now to Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 153 3/4 pounds. Black trunks with gold trim, perfect professional record, 24 victories, no defeats, 8 knockouts. He is your 2001 New York Golden Glove champion and the current WBO and WBC ranked number 9 contender and the NABF Super Welterweight champion, Yuri Foreman. Our referee, Eddie Claudio, has our instructions.
One second. Okay, Yuri, Saul, I gave you your rules in the dressing room. We're going for 10 rounds or less for the NABF Light Middleweight Championship of the World, okay? I expect a good, clean fight. Respect my commands at all times. Touch him up. Let's get busy. Let's go. Suerte.
Ready for our main event here in Brooklyn, but wow, look at next month in England. Ricky Hatton back in action, doubleheader. Paulie Malignaggi, the IBF light welterweight champion, headed for a showdown perhaps, but a big Saturday night fight night on Versus.
Looking forward to it.
Here we go, Yuri Foreman in the black. Wally, you pointed out something.
Yeah, you know what? Yuri Foreman's wearing a brace on his right knee, and you know, I don't recall seeing him wear that before. And speed and movement is a big part of his game. Right now, it doesn't seem to be hampering him at all, but let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and you know, this is a very fast track. This ring is very firm, but it is only an 18-foot ring inside the ropes, making it slightly on the small side.
Oh, big right hand from Foreman already.
Fast hands from Foreman. Here he is leaping in with a left hook. So lots of movement. He's going to box him. There's no question about it. It's what he does best.
You know, last time we had Foreman on back in December against Serkan, I had asked him why he only had the 8 knockouts. So, you know, he says, well, I'm a better puncher than that, but he didn't elaborate. Now, today in the New York Times, very interesting story talking about Yuri Foreman and his devotion to his religion, which incidentally is fairly new. It's only in the past 5 years he became very, very religious. He's actually studying to be a rabbi, and rabbinical law prohibits a rabbi from injuring another person. And he says, and because of that, his object is always to win on points. Now, whether you believe that or not, you know, he looks like he can punch if he wants to. So there may be some truth to that.
Not completely buying it, Wally.
You're not buying it. All right.
I just don't think he's a born puncher. He really does look. He looks like he throws shots. He looks like he gets plenty of leverage. He turns over his shots. He, you know, power. You're born with power.
That
said, he'll probably knock Roman out.
I agree with that 100%. But this is what the man says. That's his story.
No.
All right. I guess it's kind of like being a vegetarian who works in a slaughterhouse, but you know, he says he can reconcile the two.
Oh, nice right hand, those quick hands from Foreman. And Wally, once again, to punctuate the point he made at the top, I have no argument, and I told him that yesterday with his style of fight. I could really appreciate a stylist, a guy who's technical, who knows how to use the ring and how to put his opponent, put his opponent in a position not to succeed. But Roman's really got to he's got to rattle this guy. He's got to rattle him, and that's really been every opponent's dilemma against Foreman, to shake him back, to get him out of his plan.
I agree. You know, if I hadn't seen the Serkan fight, if we hadn't done it, I'd be saying right now, Roman's got to put pressure on. But I've seen a guy put pressure on Foreman.
That's true.
And it hasn't worked.
But the point is Roman a better fighter than Andre
Well,
Serkan?
he might be a better puncher. That's for sure.
But it's certainly apparent already that Saul Roman can't win on. He can't outbox him, so he's got to win on aggression as we close out the first round in our main event here in Brooklyn.
All right, come on, watch out. Time.
Yuri Foreman did nothing wrong and everything right in round 1.
He just moves, you know, he makes it look easy, just the way he fights. You know, he moves easily around the ring. He basically decides where the fight will be fought, when it will be fought. You know, when he wants to engage, he engages. When he wants to get away, he gets away. And quite honestly, I really thought an opponent like Serkan would take him out of that game plan, and he only did it momentarily. Could not do it over the course of the fight.
Roman with 20 career KOs, his 4 losses all inside the distance. He's got to start getting off. He can't be first. He's got to counter. He's got to make something happen. He's got to push Foreman back, maybe make him lose his composure a little bit.
Yeah, you would think, you know, conventional wisdom would say you got to rough Foreman up a little bit, but God, Serkan certainly tried to rough him up. I guess you got to rough him up more effectively than that.
Oh, man. Roman standing right in front. Foreman able to turn him at will.
His movement makes it very difficult for an opponent to get set.
Yeah,
you don't know where he's going to be.
He has taken very few flush shots in his career, Yuri Foreman.
Yeah, fighting him, it's kind of like, you know, batting against like a Tom Glavine or somebody who throws a lot of off-speed stuff. And even though you think you could beat him because he's not hurting you, you just never really get a clean shot at him.
Foreman, good speed, good follow-up right hand there that missed, but he's got Roman thinking instead of fighting.
Pretty good right.
Good exchange. Roman just can't get rolling.
Love to see him try a right to the body because Foreman tends to rotate to his left. You might be able to bring him back the other way. Problem with that is Foreman's left is so low that that right to the body is going to hit an elbow.
Oh, good follow-up left hand again from Foreman. So he's landing with regularity here in the second. Very strategic fighter, as you see. He's just not a target for many counters, and he is just frustrating Saul Roman with movement.
Yeah, he's hard even to hit with a jab because, you know, he goes one way, he goes the other way, he comes back. You're not really sure, you know, if you should jab where he is or where you think he's going to be.
The thing I don't see in Roman here is getting the kind of extension and leverage on shots himself. He doesn't look like a power puncher. And Foreman has tasted his best and doesn't look afraid at all. He's very aggressive here down the stretch.
The hotter.
All right, we're going to take a look at the punch we think opened the cut right at the end of the round. That one might have fallen a little short, but it was one of those right hands. There were a bunch of right hands. It's a bad cut over the left eye of Saul Roman. And I got to tell you something, you guys at home. You didn't see this between rounds. Roman's corner did not touch this cut for the first 30 seconds of the rest period.
Well, Eddie Claudio definitely ruled it the result over punch.
Oh, without a doubt. But I mean, they did nothing to attend to that cut, and then they pressed a towel on it.
It's under control now.
Yeah, is it? We'll see.
Well, now.
All right, wait till it gets hit.
And Foreman should be going for it.
Yes, he should. I agree.
He's trying.
Let him go.
When a guy comes back with a cut like that, the first thing you better do is get a swab in there immediately. Start pressing on it.
Roman just can't deal with Foreman's speed and movement.
Yeah, but why do you say that? I'm kind of wondering, you know, where is Foreman right now? Going at maybe, well, you know what? Now we go to the training, the teachings. He cannot injure another person. Maybe he's deliberately not hitting that.
Come on, that's a stretch.
Well, he's been hitting it with that.
Would we jump that? Could we please jump that theory?
No, we can't. I'll tell you why. First two rounds, he couldn't miss him with a right hand. This round, he hasn't thrown one. Oh, okay. Well, what's changed?
All right, so how do you render? Hey, what's boxing? You render a guy defenseless. That's how you win. Okay, you outslick him.
I'm going to ask him
real
that
pretty.
question after the fight. He has not thrown that punch this round.
He would like to knock people out, but I don't think he's consistently capable. It still could be an excellent
I can't
fighter.
wait to the post-fight interview. I swear. Well, there you go.
All right, let's get through the fight first.
Let's do that. All right.
Why don't we have breakfast and get that out of the way?
Yeah, I think he has to wait for the okay of a higher authority before he can hit that cut.
I'll tell you, Roman looks amateurish to me. You know, he went down for a body shot from not a real big hitter, Sergio Martinez, a couple of fights ago. The Uma fight was very close. Uma has subsequently lost again.
Now he's cut over the left eye.
So now we're
the right eye, the other left.
He's not throwing any punches, and he's really not offering much in the way of defense, resistance, any kind of offensive question for Foreman. So this is a sparring session for Foreman.
Let me just go back to what you were saying a few minutes ago. What does it say about Kasim Uma then if this guy fought him to a standstill, even if, you know, it was a close fight? What are we saying? That Uma was overrated?
Well, Uma was maybe at the end of his
He's lost again since
he's
then.
lost again. Not overrated, but a guy in decline.
We got another cut.
All right, so Foreman is cut now, too.
This may have come from the heads because I think that they both began to bleed at the same time. They may have banged heads here.
We're okay. We're okay.
Well, this may change in terms of urgency, Wally.
Listen.
This one's up in the hairline now. Both of the other guy's cuts are right around the eye. I mean, Roman is cut in bad places.
Okay? Keep your hand high, son.
Let's take a look and see if we can, maybe we can see a little bit more of that. Yeah, that one kind of crossed over. Then they get into a little headlock there. Can't really tell. A little inconclusive.
That was an unintentional headbutt. Eddie Claudio, the referee, just letting us know.
And so that was from a butt. That's how they both got cut there.
And the blood has stopped, so Cutman doing a good job.
Now look at this. Great job, guys. They got the butt. That's
great call
right there.
Great action by our camera. And the referee calling it immediately. Roman's got to pick it up big time. Nice left hand to the body, gets clocked with a left in return from Foreman.
Well, all right, now here's a test of your theory. If Foreman really can punch, all right, and Roman just had success with that left to the body, I would keep doing it. This guy can't punch. Okay, he's touching with the jab. He's touching.
I don't want to qualify myself, but I feel I have to with the Martinez fight. When Roman went down from a body shot, he was discouraged, couldn't figure out a boxer at Martinez, and basically spit the bit out. And that could happen against Foreman. That doesn't make Foreman a guy with heavy-duty firepower, but it doesn't make him a bad fighter. It makes him a title contender, in my opinion.
I agree. No, you know what? I'm not real sure. I'm not ready to throw the towel in on Roman yet. I mean, I think the guy can punch. I think he's a long arm puncher, and I think his problem is, unfortunately, they're similar physically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They both need distance to punch, and it's just that Foreman is so much faster that Roman can't do anything. If Roman was a short puncher, a guy that got inside, he would have a chance in there, but that's not where he's effective. He's effective from here.
Guys, watch your heads, man.
Blood on both sides.
It's becoming a bloodbath.
Eddie Claudio warning both to watch the heads, as you heard. Foreman, movement. Now will open up rapid fire combinations. Fighting at his pace. Roman doing nothing to press the attack.
And the blood is really starting to bother Saul Roman.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oof. Wow, he just got turned himself around. Really looking amateurs to me.
Well, Foreman will do that to a lot of guys. I mean, very, very fast.
I thought Saul Roman would bring more to the table.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I think there's a stylistic problem. It's because they both have to punch from a distance, and there's no chance Roman can match him.
But Roman seems to want to get inside. He just doesn't know how to get inside.
Well, he wants to slow this guy down some way, and the only way to do it is to pin him in a corner against the ropes. So you give him that little sliver to escape, and he'll use it.
We're in round 4, scheduled for 10. These are 154-pounders. Yuri Foreman has been promised by Top Rank a title fight by the end of the year.
Stop for a second. Give me time.
I'm going to take a look at the cuts.
Over there.
A lot of blood on the Mexican.
Some of his blood is actually in Yuri Foreman's mouth. It's not a pretty sight. Look at that cut.
That's a bad cut, but they say fight on. That's a deep gash above the left eye. It really has gotten worse, Wally.
Right. And that didn't help.
There's the jabs from Foreman. Now he's right down the middle. End of 4 in our main event.
To save their kingdom.
Okay, we're in the 5th. Saul Roman coming out fighting, trying to fight with fire now. It's really going after him now. It's obviously a sense of desperation and urgency, and he's backed off Foreman for now. I thought Yuri Foreman was going to come out and maybe try to close the show and really start opening up on him.
Rabbinical training. You don't want to believe it, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yuri Foreman's only had 2 KOs in the past 4 years, and you want to know something? I'm going to bet you $1 right now. You get one.
Well, he'll get a stoppage, and it's based on blood. If not, he'll pitch a shutout against this guy.
I can't imagine how that cut is not going to make somebody squeamish enough to stop this fight in the next 5 rounds.
And Concubon's numbers tell the story, Wally.
Well, you're not kidding. Foreman's twice as fast, and he's landing twice as many.
Roman is just bothered and bewildered. Bothered by that blood, bewildered by the style of Yuri Foreman. Walking in. Not behind the jab. It's just ineffective aggression for the most part. Foreman able to just juke him out of position. There he took a left hand.
Yeah, there's only been a handful of punches in the whole fight from Roman that I can remember landing.
But I'd like to see Foreman get a little busier here.
Oh, remember, it's not his nature. Whether you think it's because of one thing or another, his nature is to be a boxer, and that's what he's doing. It's true to his nature.
It's his style, right? That's where his talent is. No question.
Now here's another question, though. If Yuri Foreman is fighting a champion and he is the challenger, can he win like this?
Yeah, if he totally outslicks a guy. But when you're talking about guys like a Verno Phillips, a Vernon Forrest, and a Joe Alcine, those are the champions right now.
Forrest, I'll tell you that much.
No. So second tier of guys.
I'm saying, can a challenger win a decision fighting like this?
Yeah, it depends on who the champion is.
You have to really, truly outclass.
I mean, those guys are all decent boxers. So,
yeah, but I could just see, you didn't take the title. You didn't do enough to take the man's title.
Right.
I could see that argument happening with this guy.
Nice right hand from Foreman. And,
put something on that, too.
Yeah, Roman didn't stop him at all. Roman is absolutely clueless on how to get in, how to do any damage. It's a bloody sparring session, but nonetheless a sparring session so far for Yuri Foreman.
He got hit almost by accident there, I think. But he makes his fights easy. He does. That's the way he fights.
Halfway mark. If it goes the schedule 10, we'll be back to see.
Let's go.
Malignaggi for different reasons, two thrilling guys to watch.
Well, especially Ricky Hatton coming off that knockout loss by Mayweather. He got a lot to prove.
Can't wait to get over there, across the pond, bring it to you live here on Versus. You'll see it in the afternoon that day.
Right, a Saturday afternoon edition.
Eddie Claudio doing a great job, I think, referee. It's called cuts under control, it looks like. Oh, and Roman walks into a right hand, and he knew it. So Foreman picked the opening. That was a low blow by Foreman. And boy, Claudio caught that, even though he could have been blindsided.
He's paying attention. That was a good combination, though. Yeah, the left hook was low, but then the right hand right behind it. Boom.
Foreman, lots of movement. He's playing it safe, but he'll stand and trade, and he'll stay in a pocket at times. Why do you think that is, Wally? Roman has really not hit him flush much. Is he just not capable? Is he?
Yeah, I think he's not capable.
When you're standing in the middle, yeah, his hand speed is just
I think he's too slow. I think he punches a little too wide.
But look at Foreman.
And I think the movement, kills everything.
Foreman just keeps turning Roman. He can't get set.
It's like a human knuckleball Foreman. He just dances around. He never stays in one line.
That's a good
shot.
Combinations and out. So it's Yuri Foreman fighting fast, fighting safe, fighting effectively here.
He got nailed out. Foreman actually got hit with a rare shot there, right hand.
See a little blood again, left eye. Saul Roman.
Hey, I just want to mention real quick while we have a moment. This is a great place for a fight, I think.
Oh, yeah.
This Aviator sports complex here in Brooklyn. It's pretty new. I was here all day today. If you're in New York, man, you owe it to yourself to come down and check this out. I worked out here today. You can skate. You can lift weights. A lot of stuff to do here. It's two full-size hockey rinks here.
Come on, baby.
We have two hockey games going on.
We'll do that after the fight.
All right.
I'll play goalie.
Really?
Foreman fighting when he wants, resting, dancing when he wants. There, nice exchange on the way out.
Roman bleeding when he wants.
Yeah. And when he doesn't want it.
Oh,
nice right hand. So you keep punching, good things happen. That was the fourth shot from Foreman. It was all unanswered. The fourth one landed. So it's batting practice for Yuri Foreman here. Close out the 6th here in Brooklyn, New York. Back with more after this.
Attention.
All right, let's take a look at the speed of Yuri Foreman. There you see, he punched off the wrong foot. There's not a lot of power in that punch, but man, it got there in a hurry.
It did.
Some giddy up on it.
7th round. Here comes Roman. He comes out. Lately, he's been coming out full of fire. He wants to fight, and then
he's a game guy.
after the first minute, he slows down. He
I
gets
don't doubt
discouraged.
he's trying to win, Nick. I just don't think he knows how.
Oh, no. Don't turn, Yuri. Don't turn. Let's go. Keep your heads up, fellas. Let's go.
Foreman's corner instructions after the 6th. Don't get careless. Don't get reckless.
Well, Foreman doesn't get reckless. That's not his deal. And, you know, we pointed out he fights in spurts. He does not fight, you know, perhaps with the intensity of a lot of guys. The junior middleweight average is 60 punches per round, according to CompuBox. He's been throwing about 39, 40 punches.
As you said, and the reason is he's been allowed to do that. Fight when he wants, rest when he wants, just moves around when he wants.
Come on.
Roman not pressing him there on the way out. Roman gets hit, hands down, not protecting himself, and Foreman wisely jumped on him with a free shot.
Now, I'll tell you what, I'm not real familiar with that. But I am very familiar with Vernon Forrest and Bernal Phillips, and neither one of them are really high-pressure guys. I mean, Vernon Forrest got a terrific right hand. Some good pressure there.
St. Alcine, long guy, good right hand, but more, they're all boxers, fairly similar.
They will not force Foreman to fight any more intensely than he's fighting here, I don't think. Wow, this is turning into a rough match. These are the kind of a match that Roman needs. To get inside, bang shoulders, bang heads, bang elbows.
Yeah, Foreman's making Roman look even worse.
Well, he just made my scorecard look a little bit worse. How about you?
Oh, the old blood? Yeah, that's why we don't wear white shirts. Complained about hitting behind the head. And
this is turning into
Roman. Now Roman, this is getting personal. He warned Foreman, complained to the referee and looked at him. Now Roman's getting angry.
Well, he didn't mind the headbutts or the cuts or any of that, but you hit him behind the head now.
Yeah, that was Foreman with the headbutt earlier.
It was accidental. It's against the rabbinical teachings.
Blood flowing. Corner of the left eye of Saul Roman, but it's not real factor in his eyes anyway. It's not a pretty sight.
He's been lucky. It's going down the side.
Right.
Hasn't really been a vision problem at all. Wow.
Closing out the 7th here in Brooklyn, New York. Back with round 8. Round 8 instructions from the corner of Yuri Foreman. Play it safe, but if you get him hurt, finish him. Can't argue with that advice.
I got to say, though, I think, you know, he's boxed beautifully. I really think he has, flawlessly. You know, this may not be your cup of tea when it comes to watching a fight, but, you know, this is what boxing's all about. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking in general.
You can talk to me. Well, I was talking at the top of this when we set up this fight. I said, what's exciting about it is the style contrast.
Right.
But it hasn't. It's been one-way action.
Well, one guy is a lot better at his style than the other guy is at his.
Well, exactly.
And that was, look at that. You know what? Take a look at those numbers. You know, it's pretty close there. And if you were inclined to give a round to Saul Roman, that might be the round.
Oh, were you inclined?
No.
I didn't think so. Foreman, nice right hand. They want him to work off the jab. He's mostly moving now, but with the openings there, he's finding them. Roman's never stopped trying, but we use this word a lot. He stopped believing, I think.
Well, I think, you know what? I think early. I think the first or second round, I think he was surprised by the hand speed.
Yeah. Just standing there soaking up shots, not able to get off himself.
Yeah. And it just reminds you, I mean, I'm sure he's seen Yuri Foreman before. It just reminds you that seeing a guy on tape or even watching him from ringside, it's not the same as being in there with him.
Seeing how he moves and what he has.
But actually being in there, you know, and experiencing what he does, it's a whole different thing. It's a good left hook by Foreman. And he doesn't see. I think you're right. I think the word is discouraged. You're absolutely right. It's not really hurting Roman, but it's certainly every time he gets hit, he has a look of disgust on his face.
And you're right. That's Yuri Foreman's game. Take the fight out of a guy a different way. You don't bruise him and batter him necessarily.
Well, he's done a little of that too.
Yeah. Oh, nice combination.
That's nice.
Upstairs with that right hand. That was a flurry from Foreman. Roman walking in behind nothing. And Foreman obliging with the opening there. He'll take it. So Wally, we've talked about it forever. If this is a sparring session, how does Roman turn this into a fight?
I don't
given
think
his
he
skills.
can. Quite honestly, I don't think he can, given his skills.
He's got 2 rounds left to try. Back after this.
Me tirando al pecho, casi no me tiró al pecho. No. Sobre. Suéltate, Saúl. Vamos, vamos. El noveno, Saúl.
Yeah, he really does have to go, Saul Roman.
Let's go.
He's got 6 minutes left to pull something out of the big fire.
See, here's the problem. You can't just chase Yuri Foreman because you're not going to catch him. All right, he's going to go side to side on you. You have to cut him off. Saul Roman has shown no real inclination or knowledge of how to cut him off.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to learn it now.
He's been much more aggressive in the first 20 seconds than we've seen from many rounds. But here comes Foreman back with a right hand. And now it's Roman holding a little bit. He's got to press the attack. Try everything.
He got so much of that knee brace slowing down Yuri Foreman tonight.
Oh, boy, what a factor.
Maybe he wore it for the psychological effect.
Exactly. He was psyching all of us out. Yeah, Waller, we talked about this being Foreman's 3rd tough fight in a row. The Thompson fight, some people thought he lost that fight.
I thought he won it. It was a very, very close fight.
And then, of course, Serkan, as you've alluded to.
Serkan was a tough fight, but I thought that was more clearly a
look at this. This is easy.
This is an easy fight.
But give it to Foreman for making it that way. You credit the guy who's winning without disparaging the loser too much if he's coming to fight. He just has
you can't blame
doesn't
him
have the style. Doesn't have the style or the goods.
Let him blame his ancestors.
Well, he doesn't have the talent.
His creator. He wasn't born with the things that Yuri Foreman was born with.
What you need to beat Foreman. You really got to threaten him. You
want to know something? It'll now be at the end of this fight 25-0. So there's 25 guys who haven't found the way yet. I'm not saying nobody will, but you know he's on a pretty long list.
Boxing exhibition here. Yuri Foreman in black, having his way round after round here in our main event.
Another thing we should mention about Yuri Foreman, the guy is clearly in phenomenal shape because he hasn't stood still once.
Yeah, good point. There go the jabs and the movement. Roman waiting. Lead right hand almost ran into a shot there.
Well, I bet you when Yuri Foreman goes home tonight, he'll be able to remember every time he got hit, because it's been about a half a dozen.
Foreman jab, tries to hook off the jab a little bit. Yeah, he looks like he can fight all night.
Well, they're both in terrific shape, but I mean, Foreman clearly has been able to, he looks like he could run another 10 rounds if he wanted to.
Roman shaking off those shots to the body from Foreman, saying you haven't hurt me, but he's discouraged him. We close out the 9th as we listen in the corners, both sides of the 10th, and see what's up with 3 minutes left.
I got to tell you, I'm amazed that cut has not ended the fight yet.
Oh, man.
Está esperando mucho, Saúl. Está esperando mucho. Tenemos que cerrar bien. ¿Ok? Ya estamos en...
round is this? 10. This is it. It's the last round. You're cleaning up on all your rounds, son. Make it effective. You're a champion. Make it effective. Stay smart. All right?
Deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Yuri, box this shit out of this guy. Okay? Box the hell out of this guy.
Hermano, ahí en el ring.
What do you think he has been doing?
El último round. Tiene que
As
cerrar,
opposed to,
Saúl.
yeah.
Agarra la
Why
onda,
change
güey.
tactics now?
10.
Yeah. And Wally, you touched on how amazed we were that Saul Roman's still able to fight on, and they've done a decent job of the corner on that cut.
I know, I was all over them. When the cut first happened, they weren't like immediately on it, but hey, look, it has bled and heavily in every round. And
Look at
luckily for
his
him,
trunks. He's got the Mexican colors on.
got 2 red stripes now.
Right. It's a tough game, but Foreman making it look easy with a polished boxing performance here in his hometown of Brooklyn.
You know, I know there are boxing fans out there who will say, well, all the guy did was run all night. He ran. You know what? Boxing is dangerous, and there's nothing in the rule book that says you got to stand still and let the other guy hit you. Like, that would be kind of dumb, especially if you can do what Yuri Foreman can do.
Why gamble? There's no need. But we touched on that at the top.
He's just making it impossible for the other guy to hit him.
But again, I mean, in gambling, he didn't have to go for it. He's been able to impose his style, and that is boxing, get it done from outside.
He's already staked out his territory. It's not his game. He's not looking for knockouts.
All right, break. Let him go. Let's keep it clean.
You know, he's more than happy to win on points, but I have to throw out the question again because I think it's an important one. Can he win a title like this? I think it would be very, very difficult because of the built-in prejudice against challengers. I mean, we know challengers go in down 2 rounds. You know? You got to win. You have to beat a champion by a wide margin to win a close decision, unfortunately.
I could see him out slicking some of those guys.
I'm just telling you, you know, against a champion, a lot of people would not give him some rounds. You know, one of the few guys who want to fight like this in a major title fight is Sugar Ray Leonard against Hagler.
Yeah, but Leonard turned puncher there for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, he also did a lot of moving, a lot of fighting in flurries, a lot of stealing rounds.
Oh, no, he did. I think he did that against Marvin Hagler.
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people complained afterward. Oh,
Hagler, not Hearns.
Yeah. But a lot of people said, you know, you can't beat Hagler the way he didn't do enough. He didn't take the title. Right. Well, he sure as hell did, I thought.
Well, Hagler to me was pretty stupid for going right-handed for 2 rounds and blowing that. Yeah, that was close but clear.
Nothing stupid about Yuri Foreman here tonight. But does he get, you know, the same benefit of the doubt that a Ray Leonard gets?
No.
In a title fight?
No. Yuri Foreman making it look alarmingly simple, and based on the competition, proving why he's a top 10 contender.
Roman's a tough dude.
Your stomach doesn't growl for it.
Foreman had it his way tonight, no doubt about it. Look
Well,
at
yeah,
the box numbers.
You know what? They're closer than you would think because Roman tried all the way through. You see the total number of thrown punches, very close. Landed punches, not so close. And clearly, I don't think the scorecards will be either.
You know, 40 punches around, you're right, for a 154-pound guy. Not a lot of volume, but again, that's because of the pace, and he was able to control it, Foreman, start to finish. Fight fast, punch when you want, rest the whole bit. Online scoring. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's the 1 round.
It's a shutout or 9-1. I had it a shutout.
Yep.
Let's see what they say.
I had it too, but Joe Antonacci has the official numbers now.
Boxing fans, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge John McKay scores the bout 97-93. While judges Tony Paolillo and Steve Weisfeld both score the bout 98-92, all for your winner. And still, NABF Super Welterweight Champion from Brooklyn, New York.
Yuri Foreman rolls on again. Box behind the jab, movement, got some